Now, welcome back to our feature story tonight. You know, it's quite common to see big production trailers around town as movies and TV shows use the city as a backdrop. However, it's much more common for smaller, independent filmmakers to also be out there on a regular basis. My special guest will join me in just a minute, but first, Antoine Lewis begins our look at this little guy trying to hit the big time.
Indie filmmakers remain those industry outsiders who forego the big studios and answer only to their creative voice. Brooklyn native Eric Rivas is another.
All my life I've had very crazy visions, and I'd like to share with people. And it's almost like I have something in my mind and I want to share it with you. And that's what filmmaking does. It allows you to put these crazy ideas, you know, up on a screen and let everybody see what you're thinking, you know.
This trailer is from Rivas' film Vamp, an independent horror about turf wars between bloodthirsty Nosferatus, shot in Coney Island, a frequent setting for Rivas films.
Warriors, come out to play.
Set in Coney Island, the 1979 film The Warriors is a cult classic. Now some of the film's stars have returned to the neighborhood, this time cast in a new independent movie called Vamp. Actor Dorsey Wright played Warriors warlord Cleon. Now he makes a turn as a priest. And he has a fight scene with a cop played by former fellow warrior Brian Taylor.
Years ago, me and Brian, for the film Warriors, we were part of a company that was called Stunts Unlimited. And they taught us all the fight scenes for the movie. So we basically know what we're doing when it comes to that. And it's really good to have somebody that you know beat the heck out of you on film.
The premise of Vamp is vampires versus bikers.
A biker town is sort of infested with vampires. They come into the town and the bikers come to kick them out.
Until one of them gets bitten. This is writer and director Eric Rivas' second project. The first, Lost in Coney Island, won first place in the Coney Island Film Festival. A Warriors movie fan, he was able to cast 3 of its stars in this film, including Apache Ramos, who plays a sergeant.
I was in the movie The Warriors, and I played the orphan. We're going to rain on you warriors. This time I'm going to rain on these vampires.
Rivas says traces of his Brooklyn upbringing are found throughout the film.
I grew up in New York. I'm Nuyorican, really, and I love hip-hop, and I'm intercut all of our music and stuff that we love.
And while the cast and crew hope for much success with Vamp Bikes, they know it'll be tough to top the Warriors.
Can you dig it? No matter what I've done in the past, people come up to me and it's about the same film over and over again.
Vamp Bikers premieres in Manhattan at the Anthology Film Archives on Wednesday night. For more information, you can visit anthologyfilmarchives.org. Janine Ramirez, New York 1.
Welcome to Good Day Street Talk. Antoine Lewis reporting. Here's what we're working on today, everybody. Independent films. We're going to see how festivals are bringing attention to filmmakers and their passion projects. And then a little bit later, we're going to be talking to 2 rising filmmakers whose hard work is paying off. How their work in independent film has actually led them to. Coming up next, meet 2 directors whose years of hard work in independent films is actually starting to pay off when we return. For many independent filmmakers, putting your heart and soul into a project does not automatically lead to instant success. It can take years before getting mainstream recognition, but it does happen. Joining me now to tell us about that long journey are directors Eric Rivas. Eric, you've been here before. We've talked to you know, for a while. We've been following you. When did you get started?
I'm the second best friend.
When did you get started, sir?
I started acting in 98, and I started filmmaking, I think, in 2003. Yeah, that's when I started with Vacation film camera, and I just got into it. I just wanted to try to do something. I was an actor trying to make it.
So we talking about just the roles and the path, you know,
right,
if you will, and we'll get into where you are now, but as we go through that journey. Sure. But we cannot begin without talking about the Vamp Bikers trilogy.
Yes, the Vamp Bikers
That's
trilogy.
The one that put you on the map.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I got Apache Ramos, Rachel Kane, Michael Musto, Ron Jeremy, Angel Salazar, Lilo Brancato. We got a couple of people. Yeah.
Just for people who may not be familiar with it, you stay local. You always shoot it. You mostly shoot in Brooklyn, right?
I love to shoot in Coney Island. I call that my studio, and I love to shoot there. And I shoot anywhere in the 5 boroughs. I'll go anywhere. I don't care. I go on the FDR Drive. You know, we shot on the FDR Drive. We had a gun shooting scene, and every time you pulled out the gun, the whole FDR Drive would stop. and then it would keep going. So, you know, we shoot everywhere. I'll shoot anywhere until they stop me.
So we were just, in the last segment, we were talking about just getting people on board and the support. Have you found it to be difficult, easy to do? You know, because you're talking about independent films. Do people get nervous because there is no big, fantabulous budget or whatever?
Most definitely. I mean, you usually get people that believe in you or are like-minded. You know, for me, I'm a creative person first, I think. I want to create something that's out of my mind, and then I got to talk everybody into it. I got to try to sell it, you know, that it's going to happen, and I got to prove it. So, you know, I got to shoot a scene, you know, cut it, send it to them, and before you know it, the actors are into it. You know, I worked for free as an actor, so, you know, if I was getting paid and they're not getting paid, I understand. You know, but if I'm not getting paid, I figure I could talk you into working for free.
Now, last time we spoke, you know, you had just made a major accomplishment. It was a distribution deal?
Yes.
Which is huge. Tell us about it.
Well, we got with the Orchard through Rachel Kane, who is with Trax Records, Move Your Body and all that. And she connected us with Gene Drusen over there. And luckily things worked out. And, you know, a small-time filmmaker was able to show his films now through at least 5 or 6 streaming, Amazon, Vudu, you know, iTunes, Fandango. And it was a blessing for us because, you know, hard work paid off a little, you know.
Tell us about the clip we're about to see of your new project.
Okay, Japanese Borscht is about Japanese gangsters fighting U.S. gangsters. I call them UN gangsters because you got El Salvadorian, Puerto Rican, Argentine, black. You know, you got every culture fighting Japanese. Yeah.
Randy, if you would, let's see it.
Touch my skill. You gotta go to one killer bee and he ain't gonna kill now. Chop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard quick, she went to the ground. For an EMC.
It's in the stage of like, I just lost my mind and finished on Tuesday. And I may continue on and do more work for Amazon to make
Japanese
it Borscht.
Yep. Borscht, all right. And when can people start to see that or where?
Saturday night at 9 p.m. at Anthology Film Archives.
Okay. Japanese.
Melly Mel is on the soundtrack.
Okay,
yeah.
Melly Mel. Okay, all right. So we don't want ODB's fans to get all upset after that.
Exactly.
All right, to learn more about today's topics, go to fox5ny.com. You can also follow us on Twitter as well as on Facebook. Also follow these guys. Go out and find them on social media. Support their films. We love our New York filmmakers. And just anytime you need us, you know where to find us also on the web. And we're on social media as well. All right, thank you for the company. We'll see you next time for more Street Talk.
Independent film Shot partly in Coney Island debuts later this month, and it pays homage to the cult classic film also filmed in Coney Island, The Warriors. But it adds a new modern-day twist. News 12's Crystal Walker has a sneak peek.
Combine vampires, bikers, and a full moon, and what do you get?
We're gonna rain on you vampires.
Vamp Bikers.
Okay, Vamp Bikers is about bikers versus vampires.
The horror flick is the latest project from independent filmmaker Eric Rivas. The movie was filmed all over the city, but the opening scene was shot near the cyclone.
I love having Coney Island in the backdrop. I had to have the film to be blessed start in Coney Island.
It's an eclectic group of people out here that live in Coney Island.
Right. Perfect for Vamp Bikers.
Dorsey Wright and Brian Tyler both act in the film, and you may recognize them.
Still on, and we're going.
Because in 1978, they were cast in The Warriors, a movie also filmed partly in Coney Island.
You couldn't build this on a Hollywood set, so I understand why they used it for the movie to begin with, and why Eric wanted to use it again.
This time around, though, Dorsey and Brian play much different characters.
My character goes through the movie trying to save souls, until I run into this guy who...
I played Appalachian and I take souls.
And with these two at war, the film is jam-packed with action and a large dose of violence.
That's the reality of life, and I wanted to try to tell stories through all that chaos.
And if you would like to get a look at all that chaos, you can check it out when the film debuts at the Anthology Film Archives in the city on November 27th. Reporting from Coney Island, I'm Crystal Walker, News 12, Brooklyn.
Get me an actor, an Asian. No kung flu. This COVID thing is serious. Be careful. It's the game of death.
In Duke of New York, a wealthy financier wants only one thing: to actually kill an Asian actor in a movie to make a statement about COVID-19. But a sympathetic director and edgy leading man catch on and have another idea that leads to a manhunt through the streets of New York.
Quiet on the set.
And action.
To all the ladies in the place with style and grace. It's the creation of director Eric Rivas, whose left-of-center independent films have turned more than a few heads. Rivas is a New Yorker who says he came to appreciate Asian culture at an early age when his mother took care of children in Chinatown.
I'm very against any kind of racism, and I've seen this go on. I've seen Asian people be treated differently even way before this happened, and I wanted to take a stand, and I said, how about if we make it so barbaric, you get this rich person that wants to kill an Asian actor because of coronavirus and all these things, and he actually fights back, and he beats everybody.
And Rivas got the help of some pretty sinister characters to make that point.
Michael Musto has a lot to deal with, and Angel Salazar from Scarface. Both these two guys are the evil producers, and they knew they were doing something right by stepping in and playing a role that is horrible, but yet for a good reason, for a good outcome.
Leading man Brian Lau just finished boot camp. Rivas says he's like so many other Asian Americans who love this country and need to be treated equally.
Some people will hear them speaking another language. Oh, I don't understand that. They must be talking about me. Or, it's very small-mindedness, These barriers are to be broken. They're not to be in existence anymore. We need to get rid of them. What's going on in the Asian community, and I think it's a big wake-up call for everybody to step up and to start looking into the hearts of people. And these are New Yorkers. These are people. These are Americans. Such a desire to make films that when the pandemic hit, I decided to make another film to show that you could fight through anything, that you could fight to survive, that you could fight for what you believe in. We're going to run through this city which is dangerous, and we're going to make it through like the Warriors. My name is Eric Rivas, actor, filmmaker, and a proud product of Brooklyn. I believe in New York. I believe in New York.
If you saw vampires and zombies around Coney Island today, do not panic. It's all part of a movie being filmed. But a leading actor is drawing more attention because of his problems with the law instead of his part in the movie. News 12 Brooklyn reporter Katie Cummings was there for filming and spoke to Lilo Brancato about his second chance at acting.
And action. Recording.
Zombie bikers and vampires. That's the concept behind this movie with iconic Coney Island as the backdrop. Actor Lilo Brancato is a main character in the low-budget film.
Any opportunity that I'm given, is always a blessing.
The actor has a strong film background with roles in A Bronx Tale and Sopranos. In recent years, he became known more for his off-camera work.
My addiction progressed to, probably about 60 pills a day. My life was just out of control. It became unmanageable, and then ultimately, I got in trouble. And, someone, lost their life.
Off-duty NYPD officer Daniel Enchautegi was killed during a botched robbery near his Bronx home. Brancato was involved, but not the shooter. He served 8 years in jail. However, his turbulent past was insignificant to the film's director.
Happens to be good, and the guy happens to be known. It's both, So I know he's been through a lot, but I saw this as a little bit of a redemption for him.
While Brancato admits to poor judgment in the past, he says he's ready to turn over a new leaf and deserves a second chance just like anyone else.
I really am trying to, be a good person, which I am. And this is what I want to be, and this is, at one point in my life, my judgment was clouded.
His next film centers around prescription drug abuse, a topic the actor is all too familiar with.
Okay, it's a wrap.
In Coney Island, Katie Cummings, News 12, Brooklyn.
Meanwhile, a Seagate home was the backdrop for the filming of a new zombie movie. Vamp Bikers 3 is the third of a trilogy, all filmed in the area. It has some pretty surprising cameos. Former club promoter Michael Alig, who served 17 years for manslaughter. Also, Bronx Tale actor Lilo Brancato, who was in prison for killing an off-duty police officer. And former Village Voice gossip columnist Michael Musto, playing a familiar role.
Well, I pretty much say yes to everything, but this seemed irresistible because I get to play Hedda Hopper, and I know I'm going to be better than Helen Mirren in Trumbo.
Anybody that wants to act, I always give them the benefit of the doubt that they could do it, because I like acting. I was an actor first off, so I'm very interested in acting. So the first thing I do is I try to get people into it.
Comedian Angel Salazar was supposed to be in it, but he's still in jail for not paying child support.
De un cineasta local convirtió los tradicionales lugares de Coney Island en terroríficos parajes. Nuestra compañera Fabiola Galindo nos cuenta más de vampiros y motociclistas.
¿Qué obtenemos al mezclar motociclistas, vampiros y una luna llena? Una película de terror dirigida por Rivas, cineasta de Brooklyn, quien se lanzó a la aventura del rodaje de su último largometraje en las calles de la ciudad.
Una película de vampires con bikers peleando. Es como Dios y el diablo peleando.
Filmada en diferentes partes de los 5 condados, la película comienza en Coney Island, un lugar poco convencional para las tradicionales películas de terror, filmadas especialmente en parajes solitarios. En la trama, un grupo de motoristas son atacados por una vampira de apariencia inocente, quien desencadena una epidemia de nuevos vampiros en la ciudad, vigilada por el sargento Snow.
Coney Island es un sitio que tiene muchas cosas que está pasando. Mucha gente van a Coney Island para confiar y todo eso, y por eso ellos son buenas víctimas por los vampiros, porque están luz.
El rodaje se tomó un año y las imágenes fueron tomadas antes del paso del huracán Sandy. El otro aspecto singular es que varios de sus actores fueron parte de la película The Warriors, rodada en 1978, con ellos nuevos rostros como motociclistas que se convirtieron en actores en su ambiente natural.
En esta película hay muchos latinos, y la cosa es que no hay muchos latinos that are acting, you know what I'm saying?
La gente tiene una mala percepción de los bicicletas de ahora, pero esta gente en mi película, los bikers, estaba perfecto, bien gente, mejor que a veces de actores.
Si quiere ver más de motociclistas y vampiros y la visión terrorífica de lugares comunes en nuestra ciudad, la película se estrena el 27 de noviembre en el Anthology Film Archives. En Manhattan, Fabiola Galindo, New York One Noticias.